All right, and here's the video review for Iron Factory's, I think it's IFEX 26H. 26H, the Racing Bros. This is the heavy metal version of the Racing Brothers in this case. Obviously, as you can see, it is G2 Sideswipe. Here he is with all his weapons in vehicle mode. We're not going to focus too much on him. He's the transformation and the alt mode. He's the same Sideswipe mold we've seen before. We've done him a couple times, but with Sideswipe and the Red Alert remold. He does have spiky tires, and they do roll. Not very well because they're spiky, and you might not want to roll them too much, so you might wear this paint down on the spikes, but they do spin. They are very pointy. Even just doing this, like actually on my fingertip is not too bad, but down here on like the palm of my hand, it's a little stingy. It's not puncturing me, obviously, although you probably could puncture somebody with this. You can certainly do some damage with his tires if you really got aggressive with him. He's got his two little guns and a sword, which does come out of the sheath. And because you can't access any of the other ports, he just the sheath itself pegs in. It's got a couple square pegs that peg in here onto the top of the vehicle mode. So that's how you can store the weapons if you don't want the weapons on the vehicle mode. There he is, a nice black Lamborghini with some very shiny metallic red windows. It looks vibrant. It's really cool. And there's even some metallic red detailing here inside the vents here on the front of the car, the intakes. The rest of the red is just standard red plastic, but on the vehicle mode, all the red is shiny metallic, which is really nice. And even some metallic gunmetal back here on the back part. Transforms exactly the same way Sideswipe this mold always has. So we'll go ahead and start getting that. Oh, we got to open these up. Knew I was going to forget something. Though, do be careful because, again, grabbing him, there's a lot of places where you can grab him and get a fingerful or soft tissue full of spikes, and that is not much fun. So we can fold these up. Again, use that little clip to start popping the foot. We can do that. Come on. Huh. Every previous version of this mold, I've been able to kind of, there we go, get my fingernail into that little, where it clips on, and use that as a leverage point to pop the toe out. That one was a little more difficult than usual. But anyway, pop the toes out, fold the feet in. Pop the arms out, peg them from the front. Bring them down. Come on. Again, you gotta wiggle it from different places than before. You can't just grab them by the wheels because you will get poked. Lift up tab the hood here, collapse the body down, flip this around. There's his head. Nope, come on, body. There we go. Plug that back up. Bend his elbows. Bend his elbows. Rotate him around at the waist. And there is Heavy Metal, the G2 version of Sideswipe. He doesn't have his bandolier. Fair. But he does have his two small machine gun, like SMGs, Uzis. And again, in this mode, you can still attach the sheath to his back. So you can carry that around. The sword does come out. So you can give him a sword and a gun. You can give him double guns. And just like before, if you give him a sword and the guns and you want to store the other gun, right back there on the sheath piece. So I like that. I like that he's got his big old sword as well as a couple machine guns. Same articulation as before. Ball jointed head, ball jointed shoulders, bicep swivel, hinge elbows, no wrist articulation, waist swivel, ball joint hips, thigh swivel, hinge knees to a little past 90 degrees. Some toe articulation there, ankle tilt. But nice little G2 version of their Sideswipe. I wasn't sure how they were going to do the spiky tires. They just gave them spikes. And they are, like I said, they are pokey. Real quick comparison. with Starscream, just in case you're not aware of the size of these guys. If you have any of the other Iron Factory dudes, here he is with his plain G1 counterpart with the non-spiky wheels, just to give you an idea of how they look together. But yeah, it is the SGC 10th anniversary limited version of their Racing Brothers. It's very cool. So if you have a chance to pick it up, like I said, I always say this in Iron Factory video reviews. I love their stuff. Everything that comes in is, I have not had anything be a nightmare. I think their personality and their designs for all of their figures clearly evoke the character with some neat little touches of their own visual cues. I want to say aesthetic, but I know I'd be using it wrong, so whatever. But yeah, they all have their own personal touch. Their design team is cranking out some great robots, and this one is no exception. There it is, Iron Factory IFEX 26H Heavy Metal.